Hello students, we are starting second session of second unit. So in previous session we have discussed variations and frequency distribution. So as you know, variations, there are chances of manufacturing defective products. So the defective products will be due to two reasons, two variations, that is chance causes and assignable causes. So as a quality control inspector, so we should see that these variations should be kept as minimum as possible. That was which we have discussed in previous session, and also we have discussed frequency distribution. So in frequency distribution, we are consolidating the data so into classifications into different groups, okay, in class intervals and according to their frequency. And also we have solved one problem regarding that. So here we'll begin the second session. So the session outcome, at the end of this session, the student should be able to know what is continuous frequency distribution and frequency graphs. Here we are going to discuss continuous frequency distribution and frequency graphs. So previous class we have solved a problem. So there in that problem we have taken the class size as 8. Okay. So same problem can be solved with taking the class width as 10. Okay. So class limit 10 or 9. So here we have taken 10, and the frequency, the class limit and frequency will be is shown on the screen. Okay, to 0 to 9, that is 10 classes, 10 width, class width is 10. So frequency for 0 to 9 is 4. For 10 to 19 it is 20. For 20 to 29 it is 24. 30 to 39 it is 15. 40 to 49 it is 5. And 50 to 59 is 1. The total is 69. So the total should be same whatever class width you take. Okay, so that is the case which you should follow. Okay, so there are some rules. There are some rules to forming the class interval. Okay, so there are certain rules. So the first rule is the class interval is left to the judgment of the person doing the job. Okay, it should be left to the person who is doing the job. But the class interval choice should not lead zero frequency. See, every class should have certain frequency. The zero class should not have zero frequency. That should not be the case. So while forming the class, we should follow this rule. This is very important, that every class should have a frequency. The frequency should not be zero. Okay. Class should be clearly defined. There should not be ambiguity. See students, here the second rule says the class should be clearly defined. There should not be any confusion. Ambiguity means confusion. There should not be any confusion. Okay, means you will tell that 0 to 5, again 5 to 10. So here what is happening? 5 is coming in both the classes. So the operator or the next the subordinate of inspection, he will be confused. So 5 should be taken in upper class or next class. So that should not be ambiguous. It should be clearly defined. That is one. Next, each of the given class should be included in one of the class. So the given value should be included in one of the class. The value should not be left idle, because the total, the frequency should be equal to the total values. As you have seen in earlier columns, 69 was the values given. Okay, the frequency total was 69. So like that, there should be the total should be tally with the given values and the frequency. That is also one of the rules. Okay, next, fourth rule, the class should not be overlapping. As I told you, the values of the class means 0 to 5, again 5 to 10. So here 5, the value 5 is overlapping. That should not be done there. So like that, there should not be overlapping of the class. Next one, the class should be of equal width as far as possible. So keep the class width as equal values. Suppose, for example, in previous we have seen 0 to 8, 9 to 16, next 17 to 24, like that. The class width should be equal as far as possible. Okay. So in some cases, there may not be, in the last class will not be of equal width. So like that, as far as possible, it should be of equal width. That is what next rules is. In determination of the class size, okay, the open class like greater than and less than should be avoided. So there may be certain conditions that where you should use less than values, greater than values. So it should be avoided as far as possible, because uh, less than and greater than value will again create a ambiguity in the quality control staff, so that in which value we should take that certain task. So like that, that ambiguity should be avoided as far as possible. The number of classes should not be too small or too large. So that is also one of the conditions. So normally it should be between 5 to 20. So see here, the classes should not be divided in large numbers. If you divide, so in earlier case we had 69 values. So the quality control inspector can divide that 69 values into 2 or 3 groups only. 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60. Like that he can do. Or he can do 0 to 30 or 30 to 69. Like that. So that should not be the case. It should not be too small or too large. The other way, he can divide in three classes. 0, 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, like down 20 classes he may. So there should be classes with which should not be very less or which should not be too large. Okay, that you should keep in mind. Next, the class limit should be chosen in such a way that mid value of the class interval and the actual average of the class should be as near as possible. So this is important. The mid value what? It is a class mark. Class mark should be very close to the average of the class. Okay, so we have taken 0 to 8. Okay, the class width is 0 to 8. The mid value is 4, and the average of 0 to 8 it is 4. Like that, the average and the class mid mark should be as near as possible. In that way, we should form the this table. Next, we'll see what is continuous frequency distribution. So continuous frequency distribution. So in some cases it is not possible to arrange the data in the class intervals as listed in the rules. So here is one of the example. Let us consider the distribution of age. So age factor will be there. So how it is so? If the intervals are 15 to 19, okay, and next case will be 20 to 24. Okay, so this here in class width they has taken as 4. So 15, the age group is 15 to 19, and the next will be automatic because 19 is included in upper class. So next class should be started by 20 number. Okay, 20 to 24. So here the person whose age is between 19 and 20. So there will be certain chances that a person is having 19 year 1 month, 19 year 2 months, so on. So like that, there is chances that we are leaving that person in the frequency table. So the tally will not be equal. So when we are getting we are comparing the total, so there may be difference because in this case, the person whose age is between 19 to 20 will not be included in any of the class. So there will be difference in the total. So in such cases, we should take this case as continuous frequency distribution. Okay, so here in this case we are taking the class interval as less than or greater than. As I told you earlier, it should be avoided as far as possible, but in age distribution we can't avoid less than and greater than. Okay, so how we will divide the class? See here. Here is the example: age in groups and the class. Okay, below 5 years. So it is clearly mentioned. The candidates whose age is less than 5 years will be included in the class 0 to 5. Okay. Next one, 5 or more, but less than 10 years. So here he has mentioned, how he has mentioned, the age should be 5 or more. Okay, there is below 5. In earlier class it is below 5, here it is 5 or more, but less than 10 years. Okay, so next 10, above 10 and below 15. So he has mentioned 10 to 15, above 10 and below 15. Now you can ask 10 will be included in the second class because there he has given above 5 but less than 10. Okay, so 10 and 15 is the third case. Next is 15 and below 20. Okay, whose age is 15 and it should be below 20. Next he has given 20 and below 25, like that. So this form of frequency distribution is known as continuous frequency distribution. This is known as continuous frequency distribution. Hope it is clear. So next we'll see. So next part here is, in this session, frequency graph. So this is also one of the interesting topic. So what do you mean by this frequency graphs? So the general representation of frequency distribution is known as frequency graph, the graphical representation. Okay, here we are representing the values of frequency distribution graphically. So graphical representation of that distribution is known as frequency graph. So graphs, it is more important because when you see the graph, you can understand what actually what is the summary of that particular value. So best example in cricket. So the scoring rate they will show in the form of graphs. Okay, in first 10 overs the score was at an average of 6 runs per over. So in second 10 to 12, 10 to 20 overs they were scoring at a rate of 7. So see at the end some teams will be there, they will be scoring at faster rate in last 10 overs. So 40 to 50 over match, 50 over match, last 10 for 40 to 50 overs, they will be scoring at a rate of 8, 9 or sometimes they will be scoring 100 runs in last 10. So that all will be represented graphically. So that type we call it as frequency graph. So there are 4 such representations. First one is the line diagram. Second one is the histogram. Third one is the frequency polygon. And fifth one is the frequency curve. So like that we are having 4 frequency graphs. Okay. First one is the line diagram, the histogram, the frequency polygon, the frequency curve. So what is that line diagram? So in line diagram, obviously we are having the straight lines erected from the midpoint of the class, and the length of the that straight line will be equal to the frequency of that class. Suppose 0 to 5 is the class width, so midpoint is 2.5. The line will be erected from 2.5 to the height equal to the frequency of that group. If the frequency of group is 10, the height of that line will be 10 centimeters. Okay, so like that we are having lines which will be erected from the class mid till the frequency of that class. Okay, that is line diagram. Histograms are the rectangular. It will be rectangular buildings, the rectangular blocks which will be drawn through the class widths. Okay, the width of the rectangle will be equal to the class width, and the height of that rectangle block will be equal to the frequency of that class. Okay, so it is same as I told you. In cricket, the scoring rate will be showing through this histograms only. Okay, so histograms. So we will see lot of buildings at the end overs. So that same histogram graph they are using in cricket to show the scoring rate in the overs. Okay, right from first over to 50 overs, they are showing the histogram, the scoring rate in histogram itself. Okay, next come frequency polygon. So frequency polygons, the points are marked, okay, according to the midpoints, and the height, the points will be marked. The height of that point will be equal to the frequency of that class. Okay, so different points will get, and these points are joined through the straight lines. Here we are joining the points, various points in the distribution, straight lines. That we call it as frequency polygon. Frequency polygons are one where the uh, points on the graphs are joined by the straight line, that is frequency polygon. Next we'll see frequency curves. What are these frequency curves? So it is same as frequency polygon, but the thing is, the points are joined through a smooth curve. The points are joined through a smooth curve to get the curve, smooth curve. Okay, so that is the frequency curve. So hope you have got these points. The line diagram, the histogram, the frequency polygon, and the frequency curve. So next we'll see assessment of the session. What you have learned in this session, let us assess that. What we have learned in this session, let us assess that. Okay. So first, fill in the blanks. Okay. So I am giving you the questions. Fill the blanks. Distribution used for age data is dash. I'll repeat the question. Distribution used for age data is dash. Which type of distribution we are using for age data, students? The answer is continuous frequency distribution. This answer, continuous frequency distribution. Okay, that is one. Next question is straight lines erected at the midpoint of the class is called is dash. So straight lines are erected at the midpoint of the class. So what do we call that type of this one? It is a yes. Answer is the line diagram. Answer is the line diagram. So in line diagram, we are erecting the straight lines through the midpoint of the class. Okay, that type of graph we call it as a line diagram. Next, dash is a frequency graph. Dash is a frequency graph. So answer, the histogram is a frequency graph. Very simple. A histogram is a frequency graph. Okay. Answer for third is an histogram. Okay. Next, fourth question. Frequency polygon is a dash graph. Frequency polygon is a dash graph. Yes, students, hope you have got the answer. Frequency polygon is a frequency graph itself. Okay. Frequency polygon is a frequency graph. Next question. In frequency curve, the points join through dash. Frequency curve, the points are joined through dash. Yes. Frequency curve, the points are joined through smooth curve. Okay. They join through smooth curve. Okay. Next we'll see. I'm having a descriptive question. Okay. So here you should write a descriptive answer for this question. What is that question? The suitable example, draw a line diagram. You yourself, you take an example. Okay, choose a class width and frequency as your wish, and you should draw a frequency diagram, sorry, a line diagram. You should draw a line diagram. You should take a class width as your wish and draw a line diagram for that, so that you can clearly indicate the frequency of the class. Okay, in line diagram you are drawing a straight lines. Okay, obviously you are drawing a straight lines so that the frequency will be clearly indicated. That is a descriptive question to all the students. We should write and we should submit it. Okay, so that is what. Hope you have got the this one answers. So draw line diagram and with a suitable example. You can take what example you want so that you can draw it. Okay. Okay, section C. So see here we have summarized. I will summarize this session. Okay. So here we have studied the continuous frequency distribution and the frequency graph. So what is continuous frequency distribution? So continuous frequency distribution one which is used for age so that none of the values should be left in the frequencies. Okay, so you should not leave any value in the class. Suppose example the age groups. Okay, age groups are the best example of continuous frequencies so that they should be included in any of the classes. So the age group between 5 and 6 years. Okay, so the in continuous frequency you are using age up to 5 years. That is one class. Next, above 5 and less than 7. So like this you are forming a groups. So there that you are having every value should be included in one of the classes. Okay, that is continuous frequencies. And we have seen frequency graphs. So frequency graph, it is a graphical representation, okay, of that values of the distribution, frequency distribution. So there we have studied four types of frequencies graphs. One is line diagram, histograms, frequency polygon, and frequency curve. Okay, so like that we have studied 4-1. Hope we have got all the points. So with this, okay, I will be ending the session. I thank you all for your cooperation. Thanking you.